Just because Halloween is over doesn't mean that we can't keep the spoops rolling. We polled our Facebook community and asked them about a few of the more memorable times when they got a little bit more than scared playing games. And that's what we want to talk about this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Bubba Stallcup, and you're listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network. And joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts and a few of my co-founders from Love Thy Nerd, Matt Warmbier.
What up?
And Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
We are on a time schedule because we were busy pretty much trying to softly iron out what's going to be going on with Love Thy Nerd in the coming year in 2020. And so yeah, it's what I do.
I'm going to grow my beard out more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, don't.
You didn't mention that in the meeting. So.
I did too. No one listened to me. Also, my mic was muted when I mentioned this. It's a soft launch.
That is a thing that happens far too often.
I've actually been really good about unmuting it. I had it happen one time today. We're fine.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it usually averages way higher than that.
We're fine.
That really made me happy.
One's not bad. Well, hey, let's go ahead and get into some of the things that we're going to be talking about. So today's episode is, even though it's coming out after, I almost said Thanksgiving. It's going to come out before Thanksgiving. After Halloween.
It comes out after Thanksgiving.
Just barely after.
I'm so confused because if you go to like Walmart or a department store, like they've already got Christmas stuff out. So trying to think about what the next holiday is not even fair because you can't do it. Literally impossible. But even though it's after Halloween when you guys are listening to this, no matter when it is, we are still going to talk about some of the spoopiest moments in games. And we polled our community, the Love Thy Nerd community on Facebook, to see what they thought when they were playing games. So that's what this episode is about. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we've been playing. Kate, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've still been trying to play Little Town Hero. I mentioned it last week. Mentioned I was stuck on the first thing past the tutorial. Well, congrats to me. I got through that. Now I'm stuck on the third thing past the tutorial.
Boo.
I am not understanding something. Like when I play this game, it makes me feel
Obviously.
tired.
Yeah, there's something wrong. There's a disconnect there.
There's a disconnect. So, and I know it's me.
I was going to tell you.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we've identified that.
I'm admitting that it's me. I know that it's me. Also, this game is deceiving. It looks like a child's game. It's not for children. It's for grown-ups.
I think Ezra said that he beat it in...
Yeah, he just told me.
2
Master
hours.
mode too.
Yeah,
on master mode.
There's no such thing as master mode.
Well, sorry, hard mode. We can always call everything master.
Once
Well,
you
you know
actually
what?
beat it, you get to unlock it, yeah.
Maybe your kids are more...
I didn't want to tell you this.
Adept at thinking in that way.
I didn't want to tell you
It's
this,
not
but
maybe,
you're not getting any younger.
I know.
And
Well, you know what?
the
Yesterday,
first thing that goes is your mind.
maybe that's what's happening. Yesterday, I had this like little purse backpack thing, and my little cousins bullied me and said that's for kids. And I
Yeah,
said,
for
no,
babies,
it's
they
not.
said.
I have it. And then I thought about what gave me the idea to buy this at Target, and it was a 6th grader that I saw wearing it.
It was a baby.
I love it.
So maybe that has to do with why I'm not understanding this game. So I'm really upset at it. And so to move on, I am playing the next Dragon Age DLC that I haven't played. It's the Jaws of Hakon, and it is awesome. It is awesome. Like the area that they created for this game is awesome. It like takes you up really high. Some of your like base camps are in tree houses. It's awesome. Little windy roads up into the mountains. It's sweet.
Kate, you are literally the only person I know that still talks about playing any kind of Dragon Age game. And you talk about it with such enthusiasm. They should make a character that is Kate Katawaki inside of this game.
It's
Talk to
actually
him.
funny that you said that I'm the only one that talks about it, because yesterday I was genuinely really upset to the point of like almost crying because I don't know when the next Dragon Age game is coming out. Like,
Oh, Kate. Oh,
I thought it would be out by now. If you have a game of the year in 2014 and it's 2019, where's the game? Is my question.
Well, you've got to be careful not to put out trash. At this point, there's a high expectation, high bar.
I know.
well,
If
but
I'm
we're talking about
disappointed, then-
BioWare, though. I mean,
That's true. High, lower bar. There's a bar at least.
There's a bar. For
They-
me, the
they
bar is
put out-
extremely high.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I know, and I get
Well,
why people trashed that game, but I also don't get why people trashed that game.
But okay, imagine that was your blessed Dragon Age that came
I'd
out.
still be, you know what?
Faces were
Beggars
melting.
can't-
and
You
there was
would-
no,
you
I
would.
didn't get that.
you would absolutely complain about it.
I don't think so. I don't
No,
think she would.
I
You
think
think
I
she
would
would?
take it.
No,
every
she's
little
such a
bug and
fangirl.
thing, I would
Oof.
take it and be thrilled. That's just how pathetic the situation
Think
is.
about the other games you love, and think about the ones that you haven't. Like, okay, let's say
I
Assassin's
think she speaks
Creed.
pretty highly of
Hold on.
Unity. That's what I was going to say.
No,
Yeah.
I
Well,
do not. Oh my gosh!
Exactly.
Don't put that
See?
trash in
and
my
the
mouth. I
Black
do not.
Flag, is that the
That
boat
was
one?
that was okay,
Hey,
but I
Black Flag was dope. You watch your mouth.
Yeah.
See, so there are games that she loves the series, but they came out with and she won't play them.
I also don't like Dragon Age 2 or the one that came before it. I think both those
Dragon
ones
Age
are trash. No, it's not called Dragon Age 1.
Inquisitions.
Origins or something.
You're thinking of the Spanish Inquisition.
No,
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
No. So I think I'm going to do another playthrough of Dragon Age, and
No,
we'll keep talking
no.
about it on this.
No,
podcast.
do Red Dead. Do Red Dead.
I did say to
have
you,
Red Dead you haven't played yet.
I haven't played, and I did say to Matt the other day that I'm thinking about getting it and doing a playthrough and calling it Horpins Reborn.
Aw. Hey,
'Cause-
that's what Jesus would do.
Yeah, well, I started a
You wanna
new
be
game
more Christ-like or
on,
no?
Depends. I started a new game on Assassin's Creed Syndicate because I was inspired to make a playlist for it. It's very Peaky Blinders inspired, if you've ever seen that show.
Oh, yeah.
And then that made me think, I want to make a playlist for Red Dead, but I haven't played it, so how could you make a good playlist?
I need you to play it.
It's just a bunch of Western
And
songs.
I want you to
No,
stream
no.
it. Please stream it.
So
If you don't
when-
stream it, just record yourself and then
Yes.
post it later. We
I'll
just want to
take either
catch
of those.
reactions.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to look, when you guys start talking, I'm going to look on Amazon and see how
Wow.
much
Way
it
to
Perfect.
listen, okay?
So,
Hey, speaking of which, Matt, what have you been playing?
You know,
Yeah, let's move on.
thanks for asking.
Let's give Kate some time to work here.
Yeah,
I need
you're right.
research.
So we, the Ryans and I, my friends, I have two friends named Ryan. We've been
Thanks for the
playing through.
context.
Yeah. Hey, Ryans, what's up? Hey, congratulations on the new baby. And Shane had a baby too. Hey, Shane, also congratulations. This is my shout out section right here. But we've
Not a
been playing
sponsor.
through, we've been playing through Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth. And it's awesome. It's a fantasy flight game. It is app driven, so you have to follow along on the app. It tells you where to place your map tiles, where the bad orcs come up to fight, and then it kind of like works you through the game. Like
so it's like Pokemon Go?
no, but it's better. It's
It's
honestly,
more like
if you've ever played
Arkham
Mansions,
Horror, no, Arkham-
Mansions of Madness.
Mansions.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mansions of Madness, where you have you tap on the map, like different icons that are kind of like
okay.
clues. You have to, and where the differs from, Mansions of Madness, where Mansions of Madness has die you have to roll in order to succeed. This, you just are flipping cards and you're looking for certain symbols. Each card has a power on it. It has possibly a success, and it possibly has like a wild symbol you can use for a success, maybe. Anyways, we've been playing through that. And it's been really good. We're about halfway through. It's a whole story. It talks to you. It plays the music. It's really well done.
Ooh-wee.
It's set between The Hobbit and the movies. Sorry, the books.
6
Let
of one.
me try that again. It's set between the Hobbit book and the book movies.
Okay. You lost me.
Between the Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring.
I see
So
that.
you-
Is that the box I see behind you over your left shoulder?
Yeah, it's that gigantic one.
Huge.
It is really
It's almost as big as a Power Rangers box.
It is as big as one of them. So your big characters are in it. So you can be Legolas, Gimli, Aragorn.
Love him.
Then it also has weirdly Bilbo, not Frodo. I guess Bilbo is still a thing.
How old is Bilbo in it?
He did not have his 111th birthday yet.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
And then it has a couple other characters that aren't in any of the stuff. There's an extra ranger, an extra elf.
The white orc.
Yeah, they're all in there. No, so you can choose from any of them. So, we're about halfway through it, and it's really fun. It's made me want to watch all the movies. It's made me want to like do all the Lord of the Rings things. So, because of that, I'm kind of in this dry spell of gaming. I decided to pick back up Shadows of Mordor, which I never honestly gave it much of a chance before. And it's been really good. I feel it. I don't know what I was doing wrong the first time I played it. I just don't think I was in the mood for it.
You weren't mature enough.
That may be it. I don't know, but
you've come a long ways.
I feel good. So, I'm about maybe 6 hours in, rolling through it, maybe about 10% done. It's really well done. It's fun. It's scratching that Lord of the Rings itch that I have, and I'm just going to keep at it because
it gives you a completely different story. Like you're not just jumping into your Lord of the Rings,
Blessed Trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. None of that. Not even like a whole lot from either of the quote unquote trilogies. Now they made The Hobbit into 3 movies, but
oh my gosh,
none of it. Like it's really cool. And I appreciate that about it.
Yeah. I mean, the only person I've seen that you like should know is Gollum. You run into him.
Never heard of her. I tried to play that game, and the thing that went wrong for me is that I was trying to play it on the PS3. Why would you do that? I don't know. So
yeah,
I ruined it.
It's definitely a next gen console game.
If you have the PlayStation Game Pass, I don't know what they call it. Is that what they call it? Game Pass, Gameplay,
PlayStation
or
Plus,
something like that.
No, not Plus.
Not Plus. The other one,
it's the Pass, I think.
Game Pass. The monthly.
What?
It's whatever. The monthly subscription, you have access to a library of games you can download. It is on there. So I don't have it, but I saw that it was. I've been going back and forth about getting that because there's so many games on there. There's so many games that are worth playing on there, and it's $10 a month. That's like me not having to buy games for a while because there's so many on there. So I've been talking to Aaron about doing that.
PlayStation Now.
PlayStation later.
I think it's Xbox Game Pass, isn't it?
Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, that's why I was thrown.
Close.
I have Game Pass.
We were close.
Well, you don't have PlayStation Now though. You have it later.
I don't because I'm not into spending $20 a month on 150 games I'm not going to play.
How many does Game Pass have?
I don't know. They have hundreds of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 2 games available on demand.
But I do. I saw Dark Cloud on there. You guys remember Dark Cloud?
But they have. This is not a sponsor, but since you brought it up, these things are really dope, and we should probably do an episode on these kinds of systems that the actual gaming systems have built into them or in the cloud. Like PlayStation Now, you can get God of War, the latest God of War, Uncharted, a lot of Last of Us, a lot of these things that are in exclusives. That's what a lot of these Game Pass and PlayStation Now things will have. And on Xbox, they've got, Master Chief Collection. They've got a bunch of the Rare Replay stuff. They've got, all these different things that are quote unquote, exclusives to Xbox, like Crackdown and stuff like that. They're really cool. If you can pay for them, it's, it's like a really interactive Netflix account.
That's part of it. The paying for a thing.
Yeah. So, you lost me there.
It's maybe
get Steven to pay for it.
Hey, you can get a 7-day free trial.
Okay, I'll do
there. You go.
Jump in.
Yeah, you can play all those games in 7 days.
You're fine. You have one day for a game. So I'm looking forward to playing more of that and continuing this Lord of the Rings kick that I'm on.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been playing. What about you, Bubs?
I have really only had time to play a couple of games, and so
that's
the stuff
fine.
that I've been
playing... Both your games
are
interesting to me.
Well, and both of my games are on Xbox Game Pass. So I recently got decent internet, and I mean not super duper, but when I saw what I could get, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Blow my mind!" I'm getting 20 meg internet now, and I feel like I'm on the freaking moon. It's just so absolutely wonderful. Because I'm able to do things like this podcast and play games online and download stuff at a normal or acceptable rate. And so the games that I've been playing are Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's a game that I've wanted to play since I even heard about it. Like, it just sounds awesome. And spoiler alert, it is. Your boy did not need another deep single-player game to get into. I have several that I need to finish, but this week I picked up 2 of them. One of them, like I said, is Hellblade, and it's a really good game about how to deal with mental illness, and not necessarily how I should deal, but how people who actually deal with mental illness deal with it. The game actually tells you, hey, play this game with headphones on. That's how you're going to get your best experience. And I was like,
did you see the dev diaries for this game?
no, I haven't watched it yet because,
you have to. They're so awesome.
they tell you don't watch them until you finish the game.
Okay, well,
And
I watched
so-
them. Oops.
Like in the menu, there is a featurette, and I clicked on it, and they're like, hey, if you haven't finished the game, I wouldn't watch this. So I'm not doing it.
Well, the
Do
sound
it.
design one is super cool, and you will love it.
Well, so here's the thing. They say play the game with headphones on because it simulates, it has full 3D sound. It simulates hearing all these voices in your head coming from different directions and all sorts of stuff. Like in the little intro of the tutorial, they're talking about you like you're not there, or, you know, whatever. It literally is crazy. And I passed by a space, and there was a little voice that said, oh, no, go back. Oh, I can't believe she missed it.
Hey,
And I was like, what is happening right now? And so I turned around, and there was nothing there. Like, there was just nothing to be found. But it's like, these are things that she is hearing all the time, and you get to hear them too. And the whole game is basically narrated by one of those voices that becomes a part of the collective. And I'm not far enough into the game to be able to speak too much into how that all fits into the narrative. But she slowly slips into this madness as the game progresses. And she's on a quest, and it's all part of everything. But I'm going to be honest, I'm a little scared to play with headphones on because everything is like very ASMR, and there's a bunch of voices all coming in. I will probably play with headphones on, but I'm just going to tell you right now, I got a wife and 3 kids. I don't have a whole lot to prove to anybody. So playing this game just to spook myself out, like, I'm not about it. I'm not about it. But I'll probably do it just to kind of get that experience.
you have
but
nice
if you haven't,
headphones too. So.
well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. But if you haven't played this game, go try it. With caveat, I was talking to like Mila. She was saying she can't play this game because she doesn't feel like she's in the right space to play it. So if you are in a good space mentally and emotionally, give this game a shot. It's super cool. It plays really well. If you're not in a good space, go play something else. But I still can recommend this game to play because I think it's pretty good. The mechanics are very easy. I mean, there's not a lot to do in this game. But if you're familiar with other games like God of War and stuff like that, it plays very similar to that. And I also played the new hotness, Outer Worlds, which is pretty freaking dope.
So many questions. I really want it.
I don't know if it's an Xbox only exclusive kind of deal. I should have looked that up. I should have looked that up.
I don't think it is.
It is on Xbox Game Pass, so that makes me believe that it was a day one Game Pass. That makes me believe it might be at the very least a Microsoft exclusive. So you guys can check on that.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Not. It's
good. That's good because
That
it's a
scared
great
me.
game. It's good. If you liked Fallout, you're going to like this game. If you kind of liked anything about what No Man's Sky is like right now, you're going to like Outer Worlds. It's No Man's Sky meets Fallout. And the kind of the best of both worlds there. So I'm enjoying it. I played it for about 4 or 5 hours straight. It's just a good fun game. I really enjoyed it. So I don't have a whole lot to say about it because the intro stuff that I played for those 4 or 5 hours was basically the first main mission where you're like deciding the first big thing that you're going to do. And it's not unlike Fallout. It's really not. Like, if you ever played Fallout, there was a Fallout 3 specifically. There was a mission where you had to decide if you were going to blow up this town or if you were going to save the town. And it's kind of one of those. I did both. This was like Kate was talking about. Fallout 3 is one of those games I played several times through, like she has with a couple of hers Dragon Age stuff. So I like that game a lot, and that's what's drawing me to Outer Worlds. And I'll be honest, I was super confused because there's Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds, Into the Wild, World of whatever. Like, there's a bunch of different things that kind of have the same name. I didn't know if I was even playing the right game to begin with that everybody was so hyped about, because there's just so much of it.
Imagine it was the wrong one.
You're playing Outer Brink, Outer Warlord.
Warlord, yeah.
That's great.
It's like that episode of The Office where, Dwight was talking about going into that movie and he didn't know if a bear was going to pop out at any particular moment. I forget the quote, but it was one of those things. It was like, I'm just gonna ride this one out and see what happens. But those are the 2 games that I've been playing, and these are some of the games that we have been playing as your hosts here. So let us know in the comment section below, or hit us up on Twitter at FreePlayPodcast. Let us know, what have you been playing? We want to talk about it here on the podcast. And if you do send us a message, slide into those DMs on Twitter or just add us, we will talk about it right here on the podcast. And here is how we're going to prove that we will talk about your thing. Continue on the slide. Sliding right into our actual topic is spoopiest moments in games. We polled our community to say, hey, what are the things that scared the crap out of you while you were playing the game? And we're going to read them right now. Like, that's the biggest part of the podcast is us talking about those things. So, Kate, what are some of those things that scare the bejeebers out of our community bros?
Well, some of these I pulled because I got scared by the same thing, like really bad. So I made sure to, and this is one of them. Tyranny was playing Fallout 4. She says, first time in the Salem Museum in Fallout 4 with absolutely no idea there was a death claw in the basement. The small, enclosed, and locked basement.
Oh, man. That's a clincher right there.
The Fallout games give me more jump scares than any other game I've played. And they're not supposed to.
I would agree with that.
I don't know why they're doing it. Like, there's suddenly a person right next to you shooting you. Like, it just like, oh, come on. And I'm looking at the freaking radar to see, if there's anyone around. That game has that, right? I should be able to know that they're there.
You should be able to. And I've had I wrote down here, I've had a lot of jump scare moments with Fallout 4 where I'm just tired of being jump scared, so I just shut it all down.
We're done here.
I literally turned the console off. I'm like, I'm done. I've been scared.
Should have blew the city
times.
up. That'll teach you.
I know. Well, this wasn't the right Fallout. But John Ibsen said, the first time I encountered the Thrall in Destiny, my buddy and I were screaming like little girls as wave after wave of fast mover zombie-like aliens came out of a hole in the ground.
Those things are terrifying. If you've never played Destiny and you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Destiny Thrall. They're very lanky and they're gross looking and they have no face.
Who needs them?
That's terrible.
Not these guys. And they run at you like they're like those fast kind of Left 4 Dead zombies that just want to eat your brains and then want to eat them quick. Yeah.
Well, speaking of zombies,
wish Left 4 Dead would come back. Next,
Seth Roy wrote, starting the generator in that hotel in The Last of Us and then turning around to see a zombie.
That's another one of the games where there are freaking jump scares all the time. That
one was bad. I remember that one. You're in the hotel and you're in the basement trying to turn the generator on so you can use the key card to get out. And you turn the generator on and then everybody hears it and a freaking bloater runs through and you're like,
oh my gosh.
It just turns into a hot mess. And I remember this game freaked me out. And
I restarted playing that game not long ago
Me too.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to power through because I went through that whole time where like my save data was corrupted, and that was on the PS3 a few times. This one I started again. So I finally like sat down after I started, like I'm almost at that same spot. And I'm like, I have no idea what the buttons are. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I finally figured that out and get to the spot where I'm in that hotel and I'm like, I don't want to do this because I know how hard it is. And I'm still really rusty on the buttons. I'm like, I barely made it through the first time I did this. Like I had to run and like, I don't know how I even made it. So I'm there. And that part is scary.
You game share all the spoopy parts with Kate and she'll get through them.
No.
And
please.
Yeah. Or you just play that game on the toilet. You have two options.
I guess my toilet, we have a bathroom in the living off the living room.
It's true. You can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh. One of you read this next one. Matt, read this one. It's good.
Jonathan Reddy. I haven't played too many horror games, but Batman Arkham Asylum, very early in the game, when all the asylum patients escape, there is one crazy Gollum Lord of the Rings dude who jumps out of the vent and jumps on top of Batman. It scares the crap out of me every playthrough. It makes me so paranoid. I never trust any other event in the game, expecting some psycho popping up. There's never another enemy in the game that hides an event. Just this one dude who I hate.
I love
They
these
did a
stories.
good job. They did a good job with that asylum, though. Like, have you played it, Matt? Have you played Arkham Asylum?
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Yep. I played
I
that.
haven't played it.
It's absolutely crazy town, and the whole trilogy, or however many games you want to actually count in that, in that gaming family. A lot of people don't count Origins, but they did a good job of painting crazy throughout that whole thing, and this was one of the moments where they introduce you to just how over the top it's going to be at times, because the Joker, that's just like his thing, man. He just
over the top
nonsense. And then for me, specifically in that game, it wasn't that moment that got me as much as it was when you were fighting Scarecrow, because he's already made you crazy and like you're having to go and hide behind things, and he's got like these big like Freddy Krueger claws that are coming out and like scraping. It's his big self and you're tiny, and no
that
thanks,
level
bro.
was crazy.
No freaking thanks, bro. That's gonna be enough for me.
Well,
I don't like
What about our boy MDB, Michael Don Brown II here? He was saying that jump scares get me more than anything, and Gears 5... Gears 5? That was not what... I'm going to pause for a second. That is not one that I would have put into a list of games that scare me. For all of its boringness, it got him. Then he says this. He says, I was looking into an abandoned train car in a cave in a tundra-type area, and the characters were dialoguing. We would say that they were talking to each other. I turned the corner, and there is a carrier, a huge monster that has a scary roar, and it's hard to kill. He literally screamed. I would have paid $1,000 cash to have been in that room when that happened.
that's why everyone should always record themselves playing games.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
That's so good. I love
Screaming.
it.
He's a big boy. That's a big dude. To hear him scream at it, I want a piece of that. I want to see it. If it happens again,
Recreate it, please.
Please. Yeah, I don't even care if you fake it. I want to be a part of that moment.
Recreate it faithfully.
Kate, what about Brett Carlson?
Oh, Brett Carlson says, I love horror games / movies / music / etc. I cannot play horror games. I tried to buck the trend with Amnesia. I don't remember what the jump scare was, but it was early in the game, and I twitched so hard I slung my wireless mouse against the wall and shattered it. I immediately alt F4'd and went to Walmart to buy a new $20 mouse.
That's good.
Have
this
you
is
guys
a good
played
one.
Amnesia?
This might be one of my favorites. I have not played Amnesia.
Okay, so before we move on to the next one, so Amnesia it's one of the scariest games that a lot of people have played. Like Drew Dixon, one of our founders here at Love Thy Nerd, he says he can still remember the feelings of playing through Amnesia the first time. It's just one of those like deeply terrifying games that gets in your bones.
We play in the dark, you think?
I don't like it.
You can play it in the middle of summer, in the middle of a park with 15,000 of your friends. It's still going to scare the crap out of you. It's just one of those games that is just disturbing, you know? It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Obviously, if you play it in the dark, it's going to be a little bit more spooky.
You hear that?
Like Spoopy Plus. But
See
Scary.
you guys hear that?
yeah, I heard it.
I don't like it.
All right, Kate, we got one more.
All right, this girl, Danielle Lakes. I really like this one. She says, first time my husband played through Resident Evil 4, he was at the water's edge where that lake monster is. I told him, hey, shoot at the water and see what happens. Blam, 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 chomp dead, I gasped audibly and maybe even screamed a little and said, well, I wasn't expecting that.
You never disturb the water in any game.
I love how this is
best you can help it.
spoopiest moments in games, and yet we're like maniacally laughing at people's fear.
You have
That's kind
to.
of funny.
If you don't
funny.
laugh, you'll poop your pants.
You'd be chomp dead.
Yeah.
I love it. I liked the stories that everybody gave, and I couldn't pick everybody's, but I think I picked some good ones.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good ones.
These are some.
Is there anything from like you playing games that you can think of, maybe off the top of your head, that was just a scary time for you playing games?
Well, a lot of the stuff happened that in The Last of Us that I'm just like, even when I know that I'm about to die, just that animation of the zombie like grabbing you and ripping your throat out like freaks me out every single time. And even like I know what's going to happen. I see my health going down, and I still
That's not catching you off guard.
I still get jump scared, and I'm like, I'm sick of it. And the feral ghouls in Fallout 4, they just come running down the stairs, or they come running out of the next room. And it's like, I don't have I feel like it's going to give me a literal heart attack. Those.
I'm glad you're still with us.
Well, I know, but imagine how embarrassing it would be to go to the doctor and say, I'm having chest pains because a feral ghoul ran out of the basement.
Classic feral ghoul.
What are your symptoms of feral ghoul?
Feral ghoul and chest pain. So I don't know. Those were just a couple that are forever engraved into my mind because of the fear. So I don't really play scary games that often, but I am just a jumpy person. So even things that aren't scary like that
It didn't work.
make me scared.
Matt,
sorry, everyone. I probably destroyed
Are there
you.
games that you just stay away from and you won't play? Like are there any specific games that you're like, that's going to be a nah for me, dog?
You know, I don't usually go after the horror games anymore. Like, I don't know when I can play them, to be honest with you. Like, having a house full of
You don't want
children
your kids to see it?
and
help you with it?
Aaron's not a big fan. Like, I just don't usually, like, it's not that I'm against them. It's just like, I don't have a way to play them, I suppose. I was trying to think of like what ones I did play growing up. And I remember playing like Parasite Eve and, Resident Evil and like those kind of other spooky ones, like where, you know, you're in the dark and you're seeing all these weird zombie nurses, are they zombies, monster nurses, whatever. But I don't think there's any game I wouldn't play. The Amnesia one's kind of, it entices me. I want to know what the hubbub is.
I want you to record yourself playing that.
I don't know. No. Is it only on like Steam or something?
I don't know,
Can I play
man.
on PlayStation? Somebody let me know.
It's 2019. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. Is it? It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
So I don't think there's any game I try to stay away from. I mean, that's not my first go-to anyways, but I don't have the ability to play those types of games. So I don't know. I'd be willing to try it.
Give it a shot. Come on. YOLO.
Come on. Won't hurt you.
Also Yodo. You're only going to die once, so yeah.
I thought you meant your dough, like your money. Like it's only your money you're going to be wasting.
Your dough, yeah. That too.
Yeah.
Close. What about you, Bubba? Have you have any
for me,
scary moments?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm serious as a heart attack. This Hellblade is like on my mind right now. And it made my skin crawl. And I didn't even have headphones on. It was just coming out of the surround sound system that I have. And so I'm thinking about, like, it literally was terrifying me thinking about playing that game with a pair of headphones on. But for science, I'm going to do it.
I want to also, would you please record that?
I will pray about it.
Just aim the camera that way.
There are games that I will stay away from just because I'm a wuss is really what it is. It's not like I don't even have the games installed on my Xbox or whatever, because I do. I have the Outlast games on my console, and I don't know if you've seen them before, but they're like real dark and demony and creepy, and everything's like this weird green and like sick monsters on the cover and stuff like that. That just, I know that I'm going to see something scary, because that's the whole point.
Remember when you wanted me to play Until Dawn?
Yes.
That game.
You gonna do it?
No, I don't want to.
You should.
No, thank you.
Also, another game. Did you guys ever play Fatal Frame? Any of the Fatal Frame games?
No.
Those games were specifically designed to give you anxiety and also scare you all the way to death, to the grave. You would walk around with a camera, and you could only see things inside of the viewfinder, and things would come in front of the frame, and you'd have to like chase ghosts down and stuff like that. And that kind of stuff that's the worst. It's the absolute worst.
I feel like I've played that one before.
It's the anxiety that gets me, man.
I don't.
I think that's probably what does it for me, like in The Last of Us and the Fallout games. Like, it's the anticipation of like,
something's coming.
Something's going to jump out any moment now.
Get you good.
Get you.
Yeah. But there are people that love that kind of stuff. That will just play horror games and watch horror movies all the time because it's stuff they love. I know Matt Bannerman was telling us that he loves that stuff. It's just his jam. I know that Tyranny loves that stuff. It's her jam. So, hey, teach us something about it. And I think we also have like some articles and stuff that we're going to be coming out on lovethynerd.com about the beauty in horror and being scared and the good stuff that can come from it, and some good scientific study on being healthily scared. I don't even know what that means yet, but I know that there is stuff out there about that. But
I love scaring people.
Do you? I don't think I've ever seen you scare one person.
There was
honestly,
a story
I have
on
to resist it.
Hold on, I need to find it now.
I love, like, I'm not talking like dressing up scaring people. Like, I'm talking about like, I'm going to surprise you scaring.
Okay.
It's my love language.
Aaron left a story on the thread about that.
I can't remember what you wrote.
By slow internet, as I look this up. Hello.
Well, I'm pretty sure what happened was we were at some type of, it may have like been like Walmart or Target or something. And this is pre-children. And I went around the end cap of an aisle and I waited for her there. And I like kind of like jumped out at her and she screamed really loud because I love to scare people. She screamed, and there was another man there who didn't see me but only saw her screaming. So she was like, he scared me. And then like put her head down and like walked away.
Well, she actually left a different story here.
Oh, she
on
did?
the
Okay.
thread. She said, not a game, but most of my first year of marriage was one big jump scare because Matt strategically moved his cardboard cutout of Aragorn around the house, just outside the shower curtain while I was taking a shower.
Yeah, I would also lay it in bed and pull the covers up over his head. So when she pulled the covers back, there's Aragorn laying there. That Aragorn, he got a lot of my scares for me. Like, really, like, he's a full-size person. So I actually took that same Aragorn to work with me, and we would put him in the bathroom. So when someone opened the door in the morning, he would be waiting there for them. Or in college, we put him. We had a Frodo one that was about the same size. We would put in the window, and Frodo's eyes, like Frodo, like when he's had the ring or he's thinking about the ring, he's kind of like looking like looking down. Like we had him just like looking outside, and where we had him, like my window from my room was right above it, so you'd see people like walking by, like screaming because like someone's staring at me, and they're like, "What is that?" And then some people would be like, "Oh, that's Frodo," and they'd laugh. Other people would book it. So I love it. It's a spiritual gift,
I did not know this about you. Yeah.
I honestly hold it in because I don't think everyone likes it anymore or in life. So, there you go. Love scaring people.
Well, hey, those are some things that the community sent in, and they thought were pretty spoopy. It scared the poop out of them for games, and there's Frodo right there. Hold it up. Let's get a screen grab of that so we can post it in the comments below.
Got it.
But you guys be sure to let us know some of your other stories or something that happened during this Halloween. We want to know what's going on with you. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode 70 of the Free Play Podcast. Be sure to listen and check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, really anywhere else, radio.com even, that you find or listen to podcasts. And if you can't find us, just let me know, and we will get ourselves on that thing if it's even feasible. If you're like, hey, you guys don't have a MySpace page, we're going to be like, sorry, dog, we only have so much time in the week. But we'll do our best to get ourselves on that podcast network. And if you're not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast, not podcast, but Facebook group, the Love Thy Nerd Facebook community that we have, just do it already. Get it done. All you have to do is go on Facebook and search for Love Thy Nerd community. There's one question. That's the only thing you got to answer. What's up, nerd? Just put something in that box so I know that you read it and you're not a robot and you're going to be intentional in our community. That's all I'm looking for. Hey, you can also find Love Thy Nerd on Facebook and Instagram at Love Thy Nerd. And be sure to follow the Free Play Podcast on Twitter at Free Play Podcast. You can also find all of the other things that we do, Humans of Gaming, Pull List, and all of our articles on lovethynerd.com. Subscribe to our mailing list to get a bunch of sweet goodies, maybe some discount promo codes on some mission trips, maybe some really dope articles, some really good resources on how to do things, start game nights, what horror movies to watch first. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that we could send you. All good things. But you're going to want to go over to lovethynerd.com, and all the way at the bottom, there is a subscribe button that you can click on. Well, guys, like I said, once again, my name is Bubba Stallcup.
I'm Matt Warmbier.
I'm Kate Katawaki, and also Red Dead Redemption is on its way here. It'll be here in 2 days.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was quick. Hey, and for our cut man, Jonathan Clausen, we'll catch you next week. And remember, Jesus loves you, nerd.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you do you.